Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, is my good buddy Rob.
Hello.
Just about one off the rails already.
It's the COVID.
I was skidding on those icy Edmonton streets,
Yep.
But I recovered.
Nice.
Rob, this is episode 70.
Yep.
70.
One away from greatness. Yeah.
One away from greatness. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, because 69.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I was like 71. What is 71?
71, the greatest of numbers. It's 71 weeks since we were allowed to go outside. How about that?
No, it's got to be pretty close.
So how you doing, fella?
Good. You?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Video games.
Living the COVID life.
Living the COVID life. Living la COVID loca.
Living the COVID. Ricky Martin, you need to do that song. No, you don't.
Is Ricky Martin still alive? Maybe.
Think so?
Sure.
He wasn't that old.
No, I guess. Fair enough.
Well, that's enough bambling from us. How about we do a little housekeeping? And we haven't mentioned it in a while, but if you like what we do, there are two things you could do to help us. First off, yeah, just straight up money. No, there are two things you can do to help us. The first thing, and it's free, very easy to do, is wherever you're listening or watching us, give a like, give a subscribe. You would not believe how much it helps. We got a few new subscribers on our YouTube page over the holidays there, and already we were starting to show up in people's recommended, even if the guy wasn't very happy.
Nope, that's right.
Someone commented, he's like, "What is this crap in my recommended?" I'm like,
okay, we're not for everybody, or for a lot of people. But it was nice because it was a real comment and not a bot. So we're like, hey, we're making progress.
Exactly.
That's fine.
So yeah, I like a subscribe, comment, whatever. It all helps. Even if it's just like, even if you comment like, hi, 2 letters, barely takes you a millisecond to type. 1 millisecond out of your life would help us immensely. Liking, that's even less than a millisecond.
That's right, just click the button.
Click.
Bam.
Click. The other is the thing that's not free, but we still have a Patreon and a PayPal. As always, that information's in the notes. It's always below, right? Or I guess on Facebook it's above, because all that stuff comes out first. So on Facebook it's above, YouTube it's below, and that's Rob over there.
Look for the show notes. This is me, unless I'm on the other side this time.
Oh yeah, or he's over there. One of the two.
I could be over here. Maybe I'm over here.
So
who knows?
With Patreon, it's a subscription. You can pay $1, as low as $1 a month, and up to $5 a month. We've still got our original Patreons contributing. We've nearly raised $40, Rob.
Oh wow!
We need to put that towards something. Maybe we'll pay some bills with it. I don't know. We haven't really talked about it.
Pay some bills? That's right. It doesn't buy a lot of heroin.
No.
Not in today's market.
Enough for me, not for you.
Hey now. Right, he's got the Patreon password. Right.
And also there's PayPal. You can, if you're not down with the Patreon and just want to give to us once, there's a PayPal link in the notes. So yeah. If you like us.
Greatly appreciated. Help us keep the lights on.
That would have been a perfect time for like
Could be a 2020 kind of thing. Oh, 2021. Sorry.
Just lose connection. What happens if I click stop video? Does that mess everything up? I won't do that. We have enough trouble.
It's true. Let's just keep going. We'll keep going.
We'll keep going.
Let's talk some video games.
All right. Let's get into the news. How about that? We actually, things are ramping up. Like, I was actually surprised. We actually got some stuff to talk about this week. Not just trying to make lemonade out of lemons.
It's true.
Like we've been doing for a couple months now.
Yep. Top of the list, BioWare bought by Nintendo. Oh, it didn't happen. I realized in my predictions last week, after I did it, I said BioWare was going to get bought. BioWare is already owned by somebody.
Yeah.
They're owned by EA, but that's okay. Maybe EA will get bought by Microsoft. Who knows? That's not gonna happen. They make trillions on Madden.
Yeah,
disregard that one.
I knew it when you said it, but I wasn't gonna burst your bubble.
You know what? I'm changing it to Ubisoft then. Ubisoft is getting bought by Microsoft.
Ubisoft could get picked up by someone. They're pretty big too, but
changing it on the fly.
Okay.
Ubisoft.
Well, speaking of BioWare, that's what I think prompted you. A supposed release date is finally leaked for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and that's looking like it might be March 12th. Good way to celebrate 1 year of COVID. Pick up the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Oh, there's something poetic about a virus being,
1 year old.
Yeah.
Coming up sooner than you think.
And in a Grumpy Old Gamer's bit of truth, myself and Mr. Cashmere never played a single Mass Effect.
Yeah. I was looking through my Origin library because Origin popped up because of something we both played. We'll get to that later. And I was like, hey, I own Mass Effect 2.
Of course you do.
So I was trying to get a Rise of a Daemon. I'm like, I'm just going to go play Mass Effect 2. He's like, do not.
Do not. Start with Andromeda. That's the best one.
Yeah. Just so you know how, then it just gets better from there if you...
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, might be a good way to start. Although between us, we probably own most of them. I'm just going to check something in a funny sort of... What are many of them I own?
I own 3. I own Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U.
The best version.
Yeah. And as far as I know, those are the only 2 copies I have. But I was looking in the Origin store. I mean, you could, if you wanted to get at it, you could. They actually have 1, 2, 3, and Andromeda in there. You could just get at it now if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
If you can't wait for that Legendary Edition.
I'm going to check how many I own now, because that would be funny if I actually
own some copies of it.
I don't own a single Mass Effect.
Oh.
Wow.
Good on you. Go.
Yeah.
Good on you.
I would have figured with Humble Bundles and stuff, I would have owned a couple, but...
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I came across Mass Effect 2, was Origin was giving it away free 1 month. Right. And I got it on the Wii U just because, I'm trying to complete the Wii U collection. So Nintendo was busy this week.
Right.
So they, it was Monday or Tuesday. I think I'm going to say it was Tuesday. They launched a trailer finally showing what Bowser's Fury is all about, coming out with Mario 3D World next month.
Right.
And I'm still not clear on exactly what's going on, but there's a giant Koopa, or giant Bowser, and
looks like a demon.
Yeah. And Mario gets all big and like anime-like.
Mario.
Yeah, I've heard people comparing it to I had it on the tip of my tongue. Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, really? Dragon Ball Z. And saying it looks very Dragon Ball Z like. I'm like, all right. I'll take your word for it. But
His power level's over 9,000.
but they also revealed a special edition Switch coming with a.
Right.
It's going to have the like Mario Red dock, and then the body will be blue and both Joy-Cons will be red, and then
Okay.
the dog face adapter. I don't know the official name for it, but the one that makes
What you mean?
your
Yeah.
Joy-Cons into that's blue.
Okay.
So it's a whole combination of the red and blue, and it's the edition coming out for that. So I wonder if they're doing like they did with Animal Crossing, where they make an edition of the Switch, but don't include the game with it.
That would be like the Cyberpunk Xbox, right? That would be the.
Although most people got a download code for it.
Oh, did they? Even
It just
like
yeah,
the Xbox One X or whatever it was?
yeah. You got
Okay.
a download code for it. It just never yeah. It just wasn't out at the time that the Xbox was out.
Right. Or the same year.
Or the same year.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah. But yeah, that's but you know what? I guess Nintendo I guess they've been doing that before. Like sometimes they include the game because I mean I got the uh Metroid 3DS and it never came with the game.
Right, right.
It's just cool as crap with Samus on the cover there.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, I'm even more hyped. Like, it's been one of those games that's been on my backlog of good intention to go back and finish up Mario 3D World.
Oh.
My Wii U's still connected to my TV. It just sits there. I was looking at it the other day. I'm like, you know what? I should pack this up. Like, it's just sitting here burning away its livable hours, just plugged in and
Right, right.
just waiting for that power surge that's going to come and wipe it out. So yeah, you have any plans to pick that up on the Switch 3D World? No.
I played a little bit of 3D World. Never really got too much into it. It's one of those games that's like yourself. I'm like, well, maybe I'll eventually get back to it.
Yeah. I played the crap out of it on the 3DS.
Mario Land, right?
Yeah.
Is it Super Mario Land or?
Yeah. And that one's great. Like I actually finished that one, and but I'm excited to get this one.
There you go.
Mainly because I'll segue here. What the heck?
Sure.
We're known for it. So we got my wife got 3D All Stars to play.
I'm sorry.
And so she started off with Mario 64, and she's been a trooper. I told her, I'm like, you got to remember this is a 20 some year old game. So she's been playing through it, but she's really looking for that Odyssey, more like an Odyssey experience. And she hasn't tried Galaxy yet.
Sure.
But that'll be a lot closer. But I mean, the idea of Galaxy is you're on all these little planets, right? Instead of a big open world. I mean, 3D World's a lot more linear. Like you're just point A to point B every level. But I think it'll be a lot more like the Odyssey experience than she's getting right now.
Sure.
Enough blathering on. So, weird week this week. Did I not put the other news here? Oh, no, I did. I put them both in a row here. Okay, so first off, early in the week, Bethesda announced that they're making a new Indiana Jones game from their studio Machine Games, and that studio makes the Wolfenstein games. So that, that whole era and everything, that seems kind of perfect, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And then I didn't really think much about that. Okay. I mean, that was a good bit of news. And, like Bethesda, besides Fallout 76, they make games that sell.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? So then Ubisoft later in the week puts out a tweet announcing that they're making a new open world Star Wars game from their studio, Massive Entertainment, the guys who made Division 2. So at that point, I'm like, hey, wait a second. Indiana Jones is a Lucas, and that's, like that's under Disney. And then Star Wars, EA had an exclusivity contract. So, in a very shocking move, Rob, I did some homework. Instead of looking it up live for the people to listen to us clack away in dead air silence.
We're going to set a dangerous precedent with this.
I know, right? So, EA signed a deal in 2013 that was supposed to last for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That they were going to be the exclusive maker of Star Wars games.
Sure.
For consoles and PC and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So EA is going to continue to work with Disney, but that exclusivity deal looks like it's been melted.
Right.
But really, what has EA done with it? They've done 2 games.
Yeah.
One of them we're going to talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
And the other was Jedi, Star Wars Jedi
Fallen Order.
I was going to say Fallen Order. It didn't sound right, but yeah, Fallen Order.
Yep.
So
in 7 years.
Yeah. And they did make Squadrons too. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
Squadrons is which it was in the so they had two hits and a bunt, we'll say. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting that Disney must have finally been like, yeah, we're not honoring that anymore.
Yeah.
You guys aren't we can make way more money with this Star Wars name than you're doing.
Yeah. Considering
then they're like, you know who else we like? We like Indiana Jones. So I'm glad they're spreading it around to give it to some studios with some good games behind them.
Right.
So we should be some big deals, right?
Hopefully the Indiana Jones game is not based on the Crystal Skull, right?
Hopefully.
It's got a 35-minute intro of just do it.
Yeah.
Grab your dreams. It's just all memes all the time.
All memes all the time. So in other news, the Harry Potter RPG announced a delay till 2022 at least. So honestly, after the Cyberpunk debacle,
mm-hmm.
I honestly think we're going to see a lot more of this.
Yep,
absolutely.
Every game this year getting delayed.
They're just like, no, we don't want the backlash.
Nope.
So I just wanted to add that in there because from the stuff, I can't remember if it was a PlayStation event or a Xbox event where they showed some footage of it. It looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it did.
But
Harry Potter. There's some wizards. You do wizard stuff.
So speaking of Cyberpunk, did you get a chance to watch any of this video?
I did not.
Yeah. So the founder and co-chief there, he gave a detailed apology about the launch of Cyberpunk. Mm-hmm. It's worth a watch if you get a chance. It's 5 minutes. You know what? Watch it right now. We'll wait.
Sounds good.
Just make sure no one can hear the sound, and I'll just stare at you intently while we're
Hakuna Matata. Oh yeah, CD Projekt Red, right?
So one of the things he said in there is that he admitted that they made it difficult on themselves by first wanting to make the game look epic on PCs, and then downgrading it to work on the consoles, especially the older ones.
Mm-hmm.
he admitted it was too ambitious. So, the winners in the whole Cyberpunk debacle are PC players, if
Yep.
you can count that as a win. I've talked to a couple people now who've played it on PC, and
Mm-hmm.
they said there's no more glitches than you'd expect in a new game
Yep.
that they've run into. And in this whole ordeal, they've been the quietest. But
Yeah.
also, and I've mentioned this before, like I get a few people every week asking me like kind of inquiring about PCs and what they would need to play
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk, and I think this is good for PC. Like once you kind of like, I mean, I still struggle with the whole playing stuff on my PC,
Mm-hmm.
like stuff that I kind of expect to play on console. But
Yeah.
I
I,
just gotta get out of the living room set where
yeah. It's when I'll get into that somewhere and be like, oh, I don't know if I want to go down and sit at the PC, and then I actually boot up something on the PC
yeah,
and with my middle of the road gaming rig, and it's still like, wow, yeah, that's why I play on the PC.
yeah,
It looks real good. Got all the rays.
all the rays all the
Yeah.
time.
So it's funny because cyberpunk has kind of led to a PC renaissance in a time where
Absolutely.
you cannot buy a new video card or processor made in the last year
Yeah.
without going to a scalper. So good luck, everyone. That's hopefully getting better. They've talked about how Nvidia and AMD have talked about how they have been making as many as there used to be, like for a typical release of their new graphics cards, but it's just the demand is so out of control right now. And you're hearing of these Bitcoin mining rigs where they've got like 10 or 15 of these 3090s set up, right? Like, so you know that there's shenanigans going on there, but considering a 3090, I believe in Canada is about $3,000, $2,500 to $3,000 suggested retail price, which you'll never get. But yep, so there's going to be more coming. Eventually, the market's going to get flooded again. But if you're trying to build a PC right now, it's a bad time. Bad time.
Yeah, it really is. Even when I ordered my PC, like I ordered like 2 months before they kind of announced all of these cards, and
Mm-hmm.
it still took 6 weeks for it to come. That's crazy.
Yep.
Uh,
Uh,
what else we got
uh,
here? So yeah, CD Projekt Red. I have a feeling that there was a huge disconnect between like keeping the pride of their company and like shareholders.
yep.
I think that's honestly what it came down to there. And yeah, shareholders won.
It's true. It's always the shareholders, right?
Yep.
Pay no attention to me.
Okay.
Track people for a bit.
Yeah, besides Nintendo having the Bowser's Fury trailer and the trailer for the new Mario 3D World themed Switch, they also announced a release date for Pokemon Snap
Woohoo!
coming on to the Switch, and that's going to be on April 30th. So they dropped a lot of news this week.
It's true. And honestly, chill games like that right now are it's kind of what people need right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it my cup of tea? No, but it's just a good time to have a relaxing game.
Exactly. So, lastly, in the news here, I just posted this right before we started playing. I didn't look too much into it, but it kind of caught my eye that so Hitman 3 on PC is going to be exclusive for 1 year on the Epic Game Store.
That's epic.
That's epic. So, one of the main features that's been touted about 3 is that you're going to be able to load levels from Hitman 2 and 1 into it. So if you got save games on your, your PlayStation or your Xbox, no problem. Now we come to PC, where lots of people own 2 and 1 on Steam, but not on the Epic Game Store. And so they're mad because everyone's like, are we going to have to buy 2 and 1 on the Epic Game Store now to be able to load these levels in? So initially, that was looking like that was going to be the case, but Epic announced just today that they are working with Steam and to be able to upload your save game somehow into 3. So just I just liked it because it was a good story of the big boys playing nice together. Epic Games Store put out a quote. They said, we never want players to feel forced to repurchase content on the Epic Game Store that they bought on another PC store so that they can access features in the new game. So they're working closely with IO Interactive, and you will be able to access past content from earlier Hitman games.
It's great.
Yeah. So
good for them.
It's good with their messaging because the Epic Game Store has kind of always had that message that they're for the people, for the developers, and
fighting the evil apple
and evil Steam, and just everyone's evil except for Epic, who's making more money than all Epic
these doing this for the people.
Yeah.
Although I do have about 40 free games from Epic.
Oh my goodness. I posted that to you guys that day. I had something ridiculous in there. It's like in my Epic Game Store library, I have 52 games or something, and I've bought 2. The rest, because even at Christmas they had the 12 days of, and that's the second year I've been in on that.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy.
How are they making the money?
They're making it. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah. That they are. Fortnite's doing okay.
From what I hear.
Yeah.
I hear the kids say it's doing all right. Excellent flossing. Yes. Okay. So that's all we got for news. We're gonna move into what we've been playing now. Beep beep boop boop. Up up down down left left right.
Look at you. Look at you.
A-B, select start. All right.
Isn't it A-B-B, yeah?
I don't
remember the code.
I thought it's A-B.
All right, I'm going to look it up right now. That's probably why it never worked well for me. We call ourselves gamers.
Yeah.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, B-A. We were both wrong.
B-A, or just one
nope,
B-A?
Just B-A.
Oh.
Well, now, we both suck.
Do you
want to give up the channel?
Yeah. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I can start.
Okay.
Why not? What am I playing? Well, first off, I started off the week with something that was on Game Pass, a little game called Neoverse, because Ryan and I were both big fans of Slay the Spire.
Oh.
And this is a new game that's out there. It's like a role-playing card game. You're building decks, and it's got a lot of the Slay the Spire type stuff. It's pretty good. It's very flashy. There's a lot of there's skill trees and things like that you can build up to, and kind of a post-apocalyptic, very anime type world. It's the gameplay is good. Some of the presentation's a little over the top for my liking, but it's shiny and flashy and kind of neat, and it's on Game Pass right now. So it's free. Check it out. If you like Slay the Spire and deck building type games, do it. It's a Slay the Spire type roguelike. So,
I saw that, and like in the description it said card builder or deck builder or something, and I was like, And I wasn't even thinking of Slay the Spire, so I didn't
Yeah,
even.
it's very Slay the Spire inspired.
Okay.
Uh,
Hmm.
Give it a try.
The
It's
Spire inspired.
Spire inspired. That's right. That's
Okay.
right. So Neoverse, it's on Game Pass.
I will check that out.
Tell me how to live your life.
Uh, you don't have to do anything. This is all on me.
This is all in this guy right here. Contra collection.
Yes.
It was on sale for like 75% off. Um, Ryan and I were both talking about how we should get it, and we had both pretty much already bought it. But on the Switch, uh, I was basically excited because it had the arcade version of Contra as well, which is so much better than the NES version. I know that's almost blasphemy. I mean, it's not saying that the NES version isn't good, but the arcade version is it's the one I remember playing as a kid, right? So you'd go to Bullwinkle's and play Contra in the arcade there. It's got lots of Contras, many Contras.
It does.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I picked it up too. Um, so it's funny. So I played the arcade version because that's the very first one that comes up, and
Yep.
then I went immediately and played the NES version, and it's really comparable
Hmm.
until you get to that. I don't know what perspective you would call that, where you're
When
like
you're behind the guy.
we're near
Yeah.
the camera behind the guy,
Yep.
and then it's just off the. It's
Hmm.
not even comparable at that point.
Trying to get the sprites to do some of the things the NES version did was really cool. Like the fact they got the NES version so good.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, a game one of the parts of the collection I played a lot of was the Game Boy Contra, which actually plays really well. And it was a great game at the time, but playing anything on the Game Boy screen was just
Yeah, yeah,
no. But it plays really well on the Switch. Go
it does.
figure. 30 years old. Um, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
then the next game that Ryan and I both played without consulting each other was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I finally tried it out because it's on the Epic Store for free. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, till Thursday.
Okay, till Thursday.
Yeah.
Um, and this was the only way I wanted to play it because EA made a lot of money off of loot crates and things. And I'm like, you know what? I'll wait till it's either ludicrously cheap or free.
Yes.
And it hit the latter. Playing the campaign, I hear the campaign's short, but it's a fun story so far. The star fighting, like the flying around in the TIE fighter, has been really cool.
Yes.
A couple times where I was like, oh, could have been better, but um, it's a lot of fun. Like you can see where the loot crates are going to play a bigger part in the game later. Even with power ups for the campaign, it's like, hey, collect these cards to get you'll get these active skills, and you know
The
you
loot
can get
crates
some of them
are
faster.
the loot crates are basically gone from the game, eh?
Okay.
Like, or in the sense that caused
Hmm.
all the turmoil. Like in this version, we got all the characters are unlocked,
Okay.
which was where
Okay.
you still earn coins by playing to unlock those cards that you're talking about.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they're not like I played for a couple hours on Saturday night there, and I was able to unlock like 5 cards of like the 30 that you can unlock.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I've got like 8 or 9 of them now too. Like
yeah.
just based on one long session. It's good. Like I'm curious about the multiplayer. Like you do get one crate when you start the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I got like some stormtroopers and stuff. I don't know what that's for, but um, it's been fun. Like the gameplay is cool. The story, of course, is Star Wars, so it's awesome. But
Yeah.
um, yeah,
So
enjoying it.
I uh I got Star Wars Battlefront 2 with my PS4. That's the PS4 I got. Because
Okay.
at the time that it was right when that whole controversy was happening,
Hmm.
and this and and that PS4 Pro was $50 less than all the other ones.
Ah, got you.
So
Yep. Yep.
I was like, hey, it's got a
Hmm.
cool Imperial symbol on the top, and
Right. Right.
so I played through the campaign on PS4, and it's great. Like there's some great
Okay.
stuff that happens. But I tried out the multiplayer on PS4 as well, and I was like, yeah, I'm that guy standing there just spinning and shooting up into the air. But I played a bunch on Saturday there,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's crazy chaotic fun. Like
Hmm.
I think like I don't know how well the game did after the whole loot box fiasco,
Hmm.
but there's a lot of good stuff there. Like it's 60 player, you know 30 versus 30
Sure.
and a lot of like cool ingenious like map objectives and uh yeah like so of like the 5 games we played,
Hmm.
3 of them I was on the droid army, and that's just a hoot. Like you're the droids from episode 1 and 2 there. Those
Okay.
the trade, I forget what they're called, but the ones that say Roger Roger all the time like to
Sure.
each other. Yeah. Um so I'm actually I'm gonna play some more of that online stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy and it's a lot of fun.
Right on.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your
No, that's no
question.
problem. I'm going to stay as far away from the multiplayer as possible, and immerse myself in the campaign, which so far has been really good. Like
Hmm.
the main character is so far is actually very. It's like, oh, I actually care what happens to her.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
you haven't been teabagged by a robot yet, so you really should try the multiplayer.
It's a great incentive. It's a great, and it looks absolutely amazing on the PC. Like
Yes, it
again, with
does.
my the star fighting was just like I'm flying around a Death Star and not
Hmm.
Death Star, the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Right after the Death Star. Oh no, nope, don't really want to. Can I spoil a game? It's like 5 years old.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sure. So after it, there's a big event where they show the after the Battle of Andor and the Death Star explodes. If you have not seen
Return of the
that movie,
Jedi.
if you have not seen Return of the Jedi, it's I'm sorry, I just spoiled the end of the movie for you. But yeah, you actually see, and then you're flying up, and you're flying through the wreckage of the Death Star. It's a pretty cool. It looks amazing,
Hmm. It
um,
really does.
and it actually got me doing something that I don't typically do, which is shower every day. No, is I played it with the mouse,
Oh?
the starfighting. Yeah, it actually because I
Oh.
was doing it for the I'm on PC anyway, so I was using the mouse for the fighting, and then went into the ship, and I'm like, well, I could pick up the Xbox controller, but it's way down there. Um, so I was using the mouse, and it actually works really well with the mouse. I've
Oh.
never would have tried it, but mouse and keyboard, I was like, this is fairly intuitive.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, my only experience with that, and it's in other dice games, is like in the Battlefield ones. And
Hmm.
if you try and like fly a helicopter or something using mouse and keyboard, forget about it. Just whoop.
Dang.
Yeah. I land on the rotors every time.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's. Oh no, I did play. There's one more game for me here.
Yes.
Played some Quake 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I've recorded it. It's on the PC retro games we used to play on the old PC. I really should remember what I called that playlist, but it's something to do with retro PC gaming. It's a lot of fun. You really do see how far first person shooters have come since then, but it was the first one where you had mouse looking. No, well, after Quake was, but Quake 2 actually, even with mouse look on, it's like it doesn't play. It's when you're used to modern games, but it was a lot of fun. Had a good time with it. The soundtrack is still amazing. Like
Yes.
just the crunchy guitar and the intro is so mid 1990s, like the FMV.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, so like, oh, Starship Troopery. It was just, oh, it was great. No, it was the best part of the game.
So it's called the Retro PC Game Recall.
Hey, there you go.
Yes.
Thank you, Ryan.
No problem. Figured while you were talking, I could look her up there.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and so I need some ideas for what you do next. Got a big box of games.
Okay.
So if anyone's still listening at this point, drop what you'd like me to play.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I've been playing. How about you, guy?
Well, two of the things we talked about there already. I'm not going to add much. I ended up playing the most was Super C, the Super Nintendo.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the one most familiar to me, the one I played the most, besides the arcade Contra. You know what I really missed though with arcade Contra was a player too, because honestly, you never ever played it alone in the arcade, like, or very rarely.
Right.
So,
missing my player too.
Yeah.
Can we do that one online?
I don't know. We should look into that. Because that would be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
I also like that they put the rapid trigger in there.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're not
built-in turbo fire, yeah. Which you don't have to use, but it's there if you want it.
Also, I like that they put it, you can turn it off and on the fly. That's handy.
Yes.
But yeah, great collection. I also picked up the Castlevania collection.
Gotcha.
Because I really want to play Castlevania 4. Mostly.
Sure.
It's but yeah, you know, that collection's been on my watch list since it came out, and it's been on sale 50% off a lot of times, and I've nearly pulled the trigger so many times in that collection, but I'm like, if I buy this now, am I gonna even play it? It'll be on sale. This is like the second time it's been on 50% off, but this is the first time 75. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
That's it.
I'm in. Konami does some good collections.
They do, and some great pachinko. Is that racist?
No. Not if you know what it is. So I rolled credits on Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 this week.
Yay!
On the weekend there. Great story. Great story. What's the subtitle of it again? The Black Order? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Anyways, so the story that you play is basically their take on the Infinity War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's not a spoiler. You're battling Thanos and his group, which I'm pretty sure is called the Black Order. Anyways, the final battles in that game are awesome. Like they're just hard enough that you're like, you have to find that perfect combination of heroes that you've collected. The leveling and like the bonuses that you can give to your players, it's a little complicated, but I think there's a lot of replay in this game if you wanted a lot of replay.
Oh, sure.
And that's kind of where I told you I had a bit of disappointment in this game. So I picked up the 3 DLCs for the game. Okay. So I finished up the main story, and I was like, okay, I'm going to dive into this first DLC because it's I can't even remember what it's called, but it's a vampire story with Morbius.
Oh, okay.
And like the Punisher, Blade, and Moon Knight are the new characters that are unlocked in this. And I'm like, yeah, Punisher, can't wait to add him to my catalog. So I launch it within the game there, and it's not a story. It's a bunch of like challenges and
really
like a new mode to play in the main story.
Oh,
so you can replay the main story, and I guess that's how you unlock Punisher and stuff. But you're going back and playing that old story again, but with this new vampire mode where all the bad guys
Okay.
are vampiric in it. And then with them being vampiric, I think they can like heal themselves and stuff. And so, anyways,
Sure.
I was kind of disappointed. I just wanted another beat 'em up to go through with these
Yeah.
characters. So I'm like, well, hopefully this is the only one. I go to the next one, which is the X-Men Rise of the Phoenix story.
Mm-hmm.
So it introduces this thing called Gambit mode, which is like 3 short challenges in a row that unlocks a whole bunch of crap for you, like
Okay.
upgrading stuff and money and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the X-Men story is another new Gambit mode that unlocks more stuff, plus a Danger Room mode, which is another set of like battling challenges that you got to go through. I'm like, really? This is not what I wanted from the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
So then I check out the last one, and it's the Rise of the Fantastic Four or something it's called.
Sure.
And it's the Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom. And
sounds great.
this one was, because it turned out to be an epilogue to the main story.
So they actually had a story.
This one actually has a story mode that you can play. So I'll goof around with some of the other stuff, but a lot of my excitement was the steam was taken out of my excitement because of those 2 DLCs. Like I just wanted to play more beat 'em up with these new characters, right? So, but I got to unlock I want to unlock the Punisher or Moon Knight, like
right.
So these, or the only X-Men that I have unlocked right now is Deadpool. So I want to unlock like they show up in this epilogue, like Cyclops and all the X-Men show up like in the cutscenes, but you can't select any of them or anything. That's one thing I got to give this game kudos for, is all the voice acting that is put into this game. Holy man, every new character has voice acting.
Sure.
And it's great. Keeping with the superhero theme, I played a bunch of Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I was playing in the fidelity mode, which was the 30 frames per second with ray tracing on.
Great. On your PS5, right?
On the PS5, correct.
Excellent.
And I was like, you know what? I didn't actually realize. I thought there was just a fidelity mode or a frame rate mode. And I'm like, I actually heard on another podcast, but there's a in-between mode where it actually gives you the high frame rate plus the ray tracing. And because that's always the choice, it seems like, in these games. And man, like I was always like, what does 60 frames per second really do on a TV? Yeah, I was like, I was actually a little gobsmacked for a little bit, because I'm like, because I've only got a 1080p, but even with that 60 frames per second on there, wowza. Like the smoothness is just, it almost has that Unreal, like the uncanny valley that they talk about all the time. Like it crosses, it almost crosses that too far. Like it just, it's too crisp,
Yeah. You don't notice 60 frames per second until you've experienced it, and then you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And you look at a game that's 30 and you're like, oh. Oh.
Yeah. See, I think I trade up a lot of that playing in handheld mode on the Switch. Like you don't
you don't get 60 a lot.
Yeah, no. Almost never.
Yeah.
But there's always a good solid 30 or
Yep.
So I thought this would be a good time to mention some PS5 stuff. So in the grumpy chat the other day, I was sharing my adventures of trying to load up No Man's Sky.
Right, yeah.
So loading up Miles Morales was easy peasy. No troubles there. I put the game in. It asked me if I wanted to download the PS5 version. Clicked yes, and then it just was all there. With No Man's Sky, I went and made sure that that my save file was available on the upload, um, or uploaded to cloud on the PS4,
Mm-hmm.
and I could actually see it on the PS5. So I downloaded it to the PS5, and I launched No Man's Sky, and it's like, hey, do you want the PS5 version? I'm like, yes, I do. So there's this weird thing that when you when you go to play a game, it gives you a play button, but if you kind of if you click on the three dots next to it, it'll say it'll say if you're going to launch the PS4 version, it'll say, do you want to launch the PS5 version, or vice versa?
Sure.
So I'm like, so I clicked on that. I'm like, oh, I do. This is what I want. I want the PS5 version. So I launched the PS5 version. My save game's not there. So go back to the menu, click on launch PS4 version. My save game's there.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay. Um, so can I only play the PS4 version on the like? There's this Xbox really got this right, where PlayStation is still fumbling with this, like this whole save games thing. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
can play something on my PC, stop playing it here, and go play it on my console.
Yep.
And that exact save game is there's no monkeying around, nothing. So, anyways, with No Man's Sky, I'm like, well, I don't want to start a whole new game. So I went in and played the PS4 version. And when I was at the screen where you can select your save games, I noticed in the lower corner, just in really small writing, it's like, hold L1 to upload your save file for PS5. I'm like, well, I've already done this. But I'm like, okay. So I did it. I had three save files, so I did all. It asked you if you want to just do one or all three, so I did all three, and then I went back out, launched the PS5 version. Still nothing showing up
Mm-hmm.
until I actually get to the point where I want to start a game, and then in the little writing in the lower corner, it's like, "Would you like to download your PS4?" And I'm like, thought I did this already, but yeah, it was like it's not smooth. It's not smooth at all. Um, the HD Rumble. Not experiencing a lot of it in Spider-Man Miles Morales, but there is this part where he was standing on top of a subway, and it's kind of my first like wow moment with the HD Rumble,
Sure.
where it was like the tracks were going bada bum bada bum bada, and like you actually felt it
Mm.
go across the controller. I
Okay.
was like,
Yep.
okay, that's what I've been looking for. They don't do much with the triggers either.
Sure.
There's a little bit of tension like when you're swinging, like
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed like if you're like just when you're kind of at like a down point of the swing, it'll be a little harder to press. Like they didn't really do a lot otherwise with it. um there's lots of cool little settings in the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I like is you can set up your game default. So it asks you there's like three things you can choose from. One of them is subtitles. I always turn on the subtitles in a game,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
that's one of the things you can choose. It'll do that. It's gonna do that automatically now with every new game I play in there. It'll automatically turn on the subtitles, so that's pretty cool.
Okay. Like a system default
Yeah,
for
exactly.
game options. Okay.
Yeah, there's three things in there. I can't remember what the other two are, but that was the one that I was really excited to use. Um, so I gotta say, Sony has actually made their game store worse with One Plus.
Oh,
Okay,
PlayStation Plus?
no,
No.
that's not the One Plus.
Okay.
Um, they actually have a wish list now that will notify you, and you can go view it.
What?
Yes,
That's
and
madness.
and it says it'll notify you when stuff's on sale
Mm-hmm.
or things like that. And I'm like, yes, finally.
Please, more.
So on the PS4, you push your home button and you'd be in the you come to the home screen, and there'd be the just your bar of stuff to choose from. And then you would launch a store and go into the store, right?
A bit.
So now basically you push the home button and it appears at the bottom of the screen all those things that were on that bar before,
Mm-hmm.
but they're instantly there. and if you push the store, it basically just scrolls down, and then there's just like 4 to 6 boxes that are all basically like hot games and um like things coming up,
Mm-hmm.
like the you know stuff you would see on the very first page of the PS4 store. But that's it at this point. And then if you scroll down past those 6 things, it's like PS4 games, PS5 games, free to play,
Mm-hmm.
and one other choice. And then you go into there's no like, I don't know if maybe it's too early for them to have a sales button, but I mean like stuff's on sale already.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still getting advertisements about 70% off sales happening. But
Right.
there's no like, on the side you would have your choices, right? You get
Mm-hmm.
what's hot, deals, PlayStation Plus, that sort of thing. None of that's there right now. Like it's like, you know, I was happy to find the wish list thing,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's even harder to navigate now. It's like unless you really know what you're looking for. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
it's weird, but other than that, it's all right.
You're having a positive experience.
Having a positive experience. So yeah,
Very nice.
I think that's all I got for that's all I got for stuff I've played this week. Um, we gonna mention the weekly poll here, or we just gonna post that on the page?
You know what? Let's chat about it.
Okay. Oh, that's
Chat
right.
about
We
it.
were gonna chat about it.
You
Right.
betcha. So with someone it might have actually had 2 people post it in the forum at different times.
Mm-hmm.
But as there has been for a year or two, the N64 Mini still being rumored, still rumors flying. Will Nintendo do it? Will Nintendo not do it?
Yeah.
And Ryan and I thought, with it again surfacing, we would chat about what do we think, and is it going to happen? So go.
Okay. So I got something on this. So there was something launched between or around the time. Maybe it was in between. It must have been in between the SNES and the N64, and that's a little thing called a Game Boy. So do you
Which Game
think
Boy?
Game Boy, just the Game Boy?
Wasn't the original Game Boy before the SNES?
I don't know. Was it? I don't think
I
it
think
was.
so.
Okay. Either way, they have a SNES.
Sorry to ruin the moment there, but yes. So you're predicting something different.
I'm
altogether.
predicting that there's going to be a Game Boy Mini that's going to combine a
Ooh.
Game Boy Color, or the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, because they were closely related. It wouldn't go into the Advance yet, but I think there's going to be a new handheld
Interesting.
that'll have like 30 games on it. Because I've read rumors of that too, like about patent filings and things like that about like a Game Boy looking like shell, but smaller.
That's that's entirely entirely different. Yeah, that would be very interesting. So you think it would be like be a handheld with a bunch of games built in, or would they use cartridges?
It'd be like the Game and Watch, but with 30 games in it.
Okay.
Right.
So which, if it's going to be a Game Boy, which like the form factor of a Color or a form factor of the original?
It'd be Color.
Be the Color, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Very interesting. And no Advance, you think?
No, they won't do they'll do the Advance on its own.
Okay.
Did you find the release? Did you find the release date?
Oh, I did. It's 89. I can't remember. Was that just after SNES?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there. That was like, yeah, that's somewhere in there. They released a Game Boy, sold 18 trillion of them.
Yeah,
give or take. Oh wow, yeah. How many do you think they sold? Including Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Light, and Game Boy Color. because that's what I have for the number.
It came out in 89, you said?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, the SNES was after it because it came out in 1990.
The numbers blows me away, though.
What's
How many
that?
do you think? How many do you think sold worldwide? Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Light, and Game Boy Color.
Oh man, I forgot that there was the Pocket
Mm-hmm.
in there too, which is a small version of the black and white, right?
Yes, you got it, Yep.
No idea.
118 million.
Wow.
We forget just how incredibly popular the
We do.
Game Boy was, right? Oh man.
Because I mean, there's also been rumblings of that channel appearing, being the next channel that shows up
Right.
on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Will be a Game Boy channel.
And that's the big thing is like with that Nintendo Online now, will they make another mini? Because they don't have to, but they sell really well.
Yeah.
The collectibles sell really well from us collectors, right? And they've had the TurboGrafx Mini, the Sega Mini, the Commodore Mini, like so they would sell a lot if they did it.
So you know what I think's holding it back? One game. You know what game I'm thinking of?
Bumblebee. Oh,
Bumblebee.
you're talking Goldfinger or Golden Eye, Golden Finger.
Yes,
Goldfinger, everyone's favorite. Yeah,
chocolate bar.
Everyone's favorite chocolate bar, Goldfinger. Yeah, maybe, right then. Now that they've got a good relationship with Rare again, maybe there's a
they're
just trying to get it.
There's no sense in releasing one without that game on it. I mean, that and Banjo-Kazooie. Like, if you don't have a M64 Mini with those two games, for sure GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Perfect Dark. But if you don't have GoldenEye on there, people lose their minds.
Yeah, also the most notoriously hard to emulate ROM from Nintendo 64 is GoldenEye. It's like you need a pretty hefty...
So weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's funny how certain ROMs are like that. It's like the hardest PSP game to run an emulation is Midnight Club Racing.
Oh.
And then Chains of Olympus is always another one that's really hard. But there were just certain, usually late release ones, where they got the most out of it, right? And
I remember reading that about what is it, Clone Wars on the GameCube or something? Or it's one
really?
It's a Star Wars. It's a Star Wars game on the GameCube.
Sure. Oh, Rogue Squadron 2.
Yeah,
I think is the one that's really, really hard. Yeah, it's very hard to get.
They just so.
If you're running it on your home PC, like your main gaming one, it works fine. But if you're trying to make like a Raspberry Pi do it, or something that will play everything else fine, yeah, Rogue Squadron 2 is a nightmare to try and get emulating.
Do you have any other thoughts? If it'll be the...
I think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to release the N64 Mini. I think a big thing holding them back, honestly, is they were able to make the SNES Mini and the NES Mini work on a very cheap processor.
Oh.
And I think the emulation needs of an N64 Mini would be maybe the price is just creeping up a little bit. And then, and I'm not beating on a dead horse here, you all know how I feel about the controller, but trying to pack two of those in a box is going to be a box like this, right? Like it's a bigger controller. Not a box like this. I mean, it's
No, I gotcha.
But there have been rumblings that if Rumble Pack, that there's they might go with something like the newer style controller where it's actually got the analog stick up here, and I'm trying to remember who makes that. It's well,
Hyperkin makes like the Admiral, and Retrobit makes another one, and
like might go with something like that because they're a little smaller. You can get them in a box. Because making a smaller version of the controller wouldn't really fit right in the hands. So Not that not that the real one does either, but you got to have it, right? Like
Yeah.
it is a very distinct part of the N64.
I think they would release it with just one controller.
Okay.
If they did go with a full size replica.
Kind of like the NES did, right? Where it had
Yeah.
one controller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
the NES only had one, right?
Yep.
And then the SNES had two.
Yeah, the NES had one and the cord was about this long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So they sold a bunch of extender controller things, and
That's right.
I think they will. Now, it'd be cool. What would be cool to see is if they did like the fantastic colors.
Oh yeah.
You get like 5 different ones, or they had different shells or something. Like,
Oh my god.
have some fun with it, right? Like it's a big
Nintendo,
deal.
here's a license to print money.
Yeah.
Just
Here's all the different shells you can put on your N64 Mini. So, but we should do that as a poll. Are they going to release a Mini? I'll try and do that right after the show here.
yeah. You can do
I'm not sure if we can do minis polls or not yet, but
you can. But you can do just straight word ones.
okay.
But you can't add pictures like you could before. And it has to be on our forum page, not on the main page. The main page is still there's no polling.
You're killing us.
Yeah, Facebook, you're killing us here. Okay. Like, so do you think they release a mini before or after they add N64 to the Switch?
Oof.
Because right now there's really only one game I can think of that's a N64 game really on the Switch, and that's
Right, Super Mario 64, I guess.
Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Like,
so I could be testing the waters.
oh, you know what? Not put out by Nintendo, but the Turok games, those are N64 games.
Okay, I guess they did a Pod Racer one too, eh?
Yeah. So there's been some.
Sure. Yeah.
It's doable.
Absolutely. I think if they're going to do a mini, they won't do the online until well after, when they actually make a lot of money on, because otherwise they're just competing with themselves. But
yeah,
if they do it, see, I'm intrigued in that Game Boy one though. That'd be pretty cool.
they would, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good alternative to getting the analog one.
Yes.
Which you'll never get your hands on.
Nope. Analog makes great systems. They're just impossible to get.
Yep. So yeah, we'll put up a poll on the page there and let people
hear the people's opinions.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we got. If you got anything else, anything you making you grumpy this week?
Yeah, but nothing
game related.
No. Nope.
All right.
You?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I was grumpy about the DLC of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance there, but I mean that doesn't deserve a whole section on its own. That's just more, I guess, me coming into the franchise at part 3. Maybe this is a part of the of 1 and 2. I mean, the game really feels like it's set up to play over and over like that with the different characters. I mean, you unlock challenges after, like, those level challenges after you complete every level.
Right.
Like challenges for that level. So you're definitely meant to play it more than once. But who's got time for that, Rob?
Nobody. Nobody's got time for that.
Not this guy.
Nope. My rear. Oof.
I'm not complaining. I got a new chair.
Look how comfortable that looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks so comfortable.
My other one it was that, or I was going to be sitting on a stool. So. Yeah. All right. All right. So that's it.
That's it.
That's all. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks for coming to our little chat. Whether you watched or listened, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We hop right on those replies if you email us. So, and we have a website, thegrumpyoldgamers.com. We're keeping it pretty current now. Pretty current.
Yeah.
Up to at least 2 weeks ago.
Give or take. Yeah.
Give or take. But you know what? You can also come to Facebook. That's where that's where the most activity happens, and you can see our news stories posted there as they come out during the week. So, and we're on all the other social medias. We got a Twitter, we got Instagram. We all update all those every once in a while.
We got the Parlor.
The Parlor? Do we?
No.
I don't even know
Parlor
about
right now. That's the one that just got taken down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's got one of those right now. But
was that the Trump supporter one?
Yeah, they had a conservative slant, I guess. So
okay,
they've been taken down by everyone.
Then
but if you want us to get one, we will get one.
Yeah,
it's back.
If that's where you will go to look for our stuff, then we will get one.
We'll get one of those too.
Yeah. But other than that, you know what? Thanks for hanging out with us. As always, it's been a great time. Have yourselves a good day. See ya.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night.